What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today, once again, we're going to be working on the Goldwing for a little bit. I've got to get my oil changed. I actually bought all the supplies to do that several weeks ago, but I've been so wrapped up on doing other things. That's what happens, right? You get started on a project, then you see another project that needs to take your attention, and that's just how it goes when you're working on motorcycles, especially one like the Goldwing that needs quite a bit of TLC. First things first, we're going to start it up, let it run for a little bit, get the engine oil nice and warm, and then we'll get started on the project. I got a little bit of oil on the ground. The bolt was in there in such a manner where I couldn't ever really get in there with just my finger and do it. There's supposed to be a crush washer here on this bolt, but there's not. So I'm not sure how they kept this thing from leaking, but it's not leaking, or it wasn't leaking. I still can't get the center stand down on my own. I'll probably lean it upright, mount it, lean it upright, let it drain for a minute or so that way, and then we'll move on to the filter side of it. Alright, this part is going to be new for me. I've always had filters that just bolt on, but there's a filter element inside of this can. So I was under the impression that this came out, this came out of this casing. It doesn't appear that it's going to do that. Let's wipe off some of this oil off the outside since I got it on there. This filter was manufactured in 2015. So when I bought this motorcycle from the guy, his words were, I topped off all the fluids. I don't like the sound of that. Oh, that filter is disgusting, dude. Well, I tell you what, man. I mean, it's obvious by looking at the overall condition of the motorcycle that it wasn't very well taken care of. But I look at things like today and, like this filter manufactured in 2015. It has a date right on it. Why haven't you changed that, in 6 years? So we got that. There we go. So the person before kind of had this thing put back together right, kind of didn't. Put this new O-ring on. There we go. This thing's got 2 tabs. It lines up here with this. Now what I don't like is that this O-ring is kind of bent, and I'm worried that it will get pinched on the way in. Like it's been mentioned before on other videos, you got two access points here. I don't know if you can see it or not. This big one is the fill, and there's a little one down here. That's your dipstick. I don't like how they have that set up, to be perfectly honest with you. So I've got this little funnel. I don't like using this little funnel. It's too small. I bought this Mobil 1 10W40 high mileage full synthetic. It's supposed to take around 3.4 quarts. I don't have a way to measure 0.4, but it looks really close by the marks on the side. So what I'm going to do is let this warm up. Now I know it's on a side stand. I might have to have my son, who doesn't like motorcycles at all, but I might have to have him come out here in just a little bit and hold this thing upright while we get that checked. All right, let's start her up. Let her run with some fresh oil. Woo-wee. I'm gonna let this run, warm up a little bit, check the oil level, and then yeah, we'll be back at you. All right, so I got these little oil spots, and I got Tidy Cat. Right now, I'm just loosely putting it on here. We'll scrub it in here in a little bit, but I'm gonna let any of the loose stuff just kind of soak up where it is right now, so we can come back later and get to it. So I like these kind of oil pans, and the reason why I like those is because it makes it a lot easier just to put it all in there and then dump it down the kitchen sink. So it's just a lot easier to do it that way. Well, my suspension is completely bottoming out. My daughter's here with me. You can see her in the mirror there. We're gonna meet my wife and my grandson up at Buffalo Wild Wing. I know a lot of people like to see local spots. We're not that savvy, so we don't mind Buffalo Wild Wing.
not the best. Since it's just me and my daughter, we decided we're going to test the Gold Wing 2-up. I just checked the oil to make sure it was good to go. It is. I know a lot of my friends online are up in states where it's already in the 40s, expecting snow warnings here in the next few weeks. I don't care what the date is and what season it officially is. It's still summer in Florida. And I wanted to wear shorts today up here, but as luck would have it, none of them are clean. So we're wearing jeans and I'm sweating my balls off. So where we're going is 9 miles from the house. We're going to take the back highway up there. This might be a more scenic route. It just depends on how much traffic there is out here. And by the looks of it, there's going to be plenty. So as some of y'all know, I was home all week this week because my grandson tested positive for COVID. Now he's 2, and statistically speaking, COVID doesn't really impact small children hardly at all. So he tested positive, and they only ran the test because he was already at the doctor. They were trying to figure out where his little cough was coming from. We got the results back 2 days later. My job requires that any COVID exposure I tell them about. So when I told my job about that, HR required that I quarantine for 10 days. I had to submit a negative test that day, and then I had to submit a negative test today, which was the day after the 10th day. So that's why I had to work at home. My grandson's been fine. He's actually getting tested right now, a rapid test. And the only test that she could get him into today was up here next to this Buffalo Wild Wing, which kind of prompted the decision to go to this Buffalo Wild Wing. So it's like, hey, we're already up here. It'll give me a chance to ride on some of these pretty roads, and we'll put all this whole thing behind us. Alright, here we are, Buffalo Wild Wing, home of the wildest, buffaloiest, swingiest wings. These actually are not my favorite. We used to like B-dubs quite a bit. The more we eat other, better local wings, the less I like them. But it's a good atmosphere. They always have the game on. It's wide open generally. Usually some eye candy and some cold beers to drink. Alright, here we are, boys. Okay. We'll see you inside.
Superb.
Alright, I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to end that video, so surprise. It was a pretty good day, man. It was Friday afternoon getting all that stuff done, going out to dinner with the family, and I got to do the brakes next on the Gold Wing, and I've really been lazy about it. I've really been putting it off. I'll probably get it done over the course of this week, but anyway, I appreciate you coming along like always, and until next time, we'll see you later.